Hi, I'm Dr. Ray Umphrey, and in this video, I want to talk about which Greek New Testament you should buy. And there are a lot of options, and I'm going to give you 4 options, 3 of them actually that you could buy, and 1 of them that's for free. And these are my top recommendations. I actually use them all for different reasons. So let's just start with the academic standard. And there's actually 2. So you have the United Bible Society Greek New Testament and the Nestle Aland Greek New Testament. Why do I show you 2? Because they actually have the same Greek text. So they're based on the same work. They're actually based on hundreds of years of textual critical work. And right now, this is the UBS 5 and the Nestle Aland 28. At the time I'm recording this, this summer, it appears that the UBS 6 will be coming out. So if you're watching this video, the new editions may be out or coming out soon. But anyway, these are the academic standards. And if you open them up, what you're going to find is you're going to find the Greek text at the top, but you're going to find at the bottom, you're going to find textual critical information. And what this is going to be, it's going to tell you about textual variants, so where different manuscripts have different readings. And really the biggest differences between the 2 is just the kind of information that is contained at the bottom. So you're going to find different variants in the NA versus the UBS. But as far as reading the Greek text, it's going to be identical. The only really significant difference for reading is that the UBS does have section headings. So for example, when Jesus walks on the water, there in English, it's going to say above that paragraph, Jesus walks on the water. So that kind of helps you maybe orient yourself a little more. The Nestle Aland does not have those paragraph headings. Beyond that, I typically favor the Nestle Aland. And you might say, why? Because blue is my favorite color. So the academic standard, UBS, NA, I recommend both. If you're going to do serious Greek study, at some point you're going to want to buy one of these. The next one I'll point out is the Tyndale House Greek New Testament. And this one came out a few years ago. And it's a black cover. It's sleek looking. This one has a different philosophy behind how it's put together. This one actually, the philosophy behind it was favoring the early, usually pre-5th century manuscripts and scribal habits. So they're going to be just different changes in the text, the way the Greek New Testament is presented. And all of these that I'm going to show you, they do differ in the Greek text, just they favor different variants over others or formatting. One neat thing about the Tyndale House is if you look at the table of contents, the books are not in the typical order. They actually follow the order that the early manuscripts or the early codexes had them. So for example, you have the Gospels and Acts, and then you have the general epistles, James, Peter, then you move on into Paul's letters. So that's a little different. One thing I really like about this one is I think it's probably the most attractive just reading. The font is very pleasing to look at, and the pages are sort of thick. So if you're used to Bible pages, they can be kind of thin and you can see through them. The Nestle Aland and the UBS are very thin, and so you see kind of the other side of the page. It's kind of, not aesthetically pleasing. But this has really nice paper, and you don't get a lot of that bleed through. It's just a pleasure to read. It's really well laid out. The font is attractive, and yeah, it's a good one. There's multiple editions of this. There's actually a really neat reader's edition, and at the bottom it gives you the uncommon Greek words so that you can define them as you go, and it's really handy. The next one is the one I would say is the best for beginners, and it is a reader's Greek New Testament. And this one is the Zondervan version, and it's based off of the text that the NIV translation used, and so they kind of had their own selection of Greek text and variants. Now, there's multiple reader's editions. The Tyndale House has a really good reader's edition, but it's big. It's kind of bulky. The reason I like this one is it's compact. It's got a nice flexible cover. It's really easy to take it with you. And what you have the Greek text at the top, and at the bottom you have the words that occur, I believe, 30 or less times in the New Testament. So if you don't know, the rarest of vocabulary, or you've taken first year Greek and you come across a word that's sort of rare, it'll have it footnoted at the bottom and you can read it and then you can keep on going. So this is a really helpful tool for beginning students. And maybe if you're not a beginning student, but maybe some of your vocab has slipped, this will help you to read pleasurably without having to have a dictionary and look everything up. So I recommend this for beginners. And then finally, the best free one. So we've talked about the academic standard, the best for reading, and the best for beginners. What is the best free Greek New Testament? It's the Society of Biblical Literature Greek New Testament. If you go to gntreader.com, you'll find it online. And it's a super resource. If you click on the words, it actually brings up the parsing information, brings up lexical information, and it tells you how many times it appears in the New Testament. If you click on the verse number, it gives you the text critical information, what you would find at the bottom of the Nestle Aland and the UBS text. And it's just really well laid out. It's really well behaved on a phone, on a smart device. And it's the one that I actually use on the go. So I have Logos Bible software and I have all the Greek New Testaments, but I bookmark gntreader.com because it's just so handy to get to, and it has all the information really well laid out. So the best free one is the Society of Biblical Literature's Greek New Testament, and you'll find that at gntreader.com. So those are the 4 Greek New Testaments that I think you should know about. And so if you're looking at purchasing one, or you say, hey, I just want to start off with the free one, this gets you started. I hope this has helped you to pick out your first Greek New Testament.